Good evening, intercultural communication class. This is Grant, week 6. Um, question 1, setting where nonverbal communication outweighed verbal communication. When I worked at the airport, we had to wear earplugs because aircraft are loud. And most of those that we had to communicate were at a distance or had a barrier, um, like on the other side of a plane. Um, we had to use marshalling to marshal in the aircraft that are taxiing in, send the commands to another marshal, um, telling them when to stop, cut power, connecting to a headset. Sometimes we had to communicate with them about when the ground power unit is connected or disconnected, um, if there's an engine fire, or what engine to start up. The pilots were not the only individuals in which we had to communicate with. Um, Dropping locks on the dollies, pushing the cans onto the K-loader, telling the K-loader driver to lift the cans up to the deck height of the aircraft. Um, if we were moving cans down from the aircraft, putting them into one of the trucks, 1 through 4, um, if we had to send that down to the Altec so it could go to the hub or a different aircraft. All these forms of communication, we used hand gestures. But even when we were driving the tug, we also sounded our horn um, whenever we moved, 1 for forward and 2 for back. I feel it was pretty easy to adopt this form of communication in this setting. Um, some of the ways we can identify um, status nonverbal is type of clothing, how we wear stuff. When I was working at a semiconductor plant, what people wore kind of identified where in the plant they worked. If they were wearing hard hats, they most likely worked in the subfab. Depending on the level of clean room, um, you could either be wearing a smock or a full bunny suit. If you were going in the pass-throughs, you needed to have your smock, hairnet, beard cover, safety glasses, um, uh, and you know you also had a person like me wearing a rubber suit, dealing with the hazardous materials, transporting acids and bases in large cylinders of compressed gases. Of course, you also had the security guards and chefs and other dining personnel in their uniforms. Some artifacts in which we have in our house. In our bathroom, we have a couple of MC Escher prints. I was introduced to him when I was in high school, and he makes impossible things kind of reality, with staircases that go on forever, or morphing animals and other creatures through tessellations into some other animal or other creature. I find his work pretty fascinating. Um, I think a big nonverbal act of flying um, aircraft into buildings is one of the biggest sparks to America's misunderstanding of Muslim or Middle Eastern people, um, where they think that they're the enemy. Um, so that was my answer for question 3. Y'all have a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend and hope to see you soon.